fuck we're gonna talk about. But we're out here, we're showing you life on these streets, New York. I think I'm going head to head as a Trump night at the RNC. Going head to head with a headliner. Is it the last night? I don't know. It's Thursday. July something. Mid-July. I just finished up doing an interview. The last Bohemians interview at Ben Callahan's place. Shout out to Callahan. We had a good podcast. And, well, the camera stopped working about, I don't know, half an hour. We talked for like probably, what, 5 hours? 4 hours? 3 hours? 3.5 hours? Now I'm talking more. I just feel warmed up. I feel ready to communicate with my community. I don't know, it's early in the day. I've been doing the later things. I thought I wanted to get out during the daylight to capture some of this wonderful New York City character, color. You know, this is what it looked like, this is what it felt like. This is what was going on the streets, these streets, summer 24. The last summer. Suddenly last summer. So we're keeping the summer alive so far. Went to the beach yesterday. I went to Roll and Roaster, which I saw on TikTok. Perhaps I should have known better. I didn't realize that there were like kind of touristy. Sheepshead Bay has got this little beach kind of, or like esplanade type thing. And there's some touristy type spots there. Including Roll and Roaster. It was overpriced. And it was okay, you know. I'm glad that it exists. It has some nice, you know, mom and pop type idiosyncrasy, but I didn't get the cheese sauce, C-H-E-E-Z, cheese. I don't trust C-H-E-E-Z cheese. It's clearly not real cheese. And that gives them license to just put whatever the fuck they want. That's why they spell it that way. Because it's like some kind of nuclear killer cheese.
It was so much better with that.
We're on Bleecker. We're walking down Bleecker. It's hot, but it's, you know, it's kind of nice. The light is nice. Trapped in the fucking rat race here. Trapped in the giant maze. Maybe we'll go this way. This will be more chill. In the malaise of summer. In the malarial July. Yeah, so I just got off a podcast. I thought, why not? Why not just keep fucking streaming? Why stop? I'm gonna go to the Korean grocery store when I'm done here to get sushi for half price. I know, this is a day, get ready with me video. Day of my life as a New York Bohemian open mic host. Look, different eyes see different things, okay? There you go, there's some wisdom for you from the streets, some graffiti wisdom. What the hell do we need to talk about? So yeah, Ben Callahan said some good questions. Maybe I'll go back into some of the things that he asked me, or answer them in greater detail. Let's see. We didn't talk about the assassination at all. So that was, well, he said, one of the things he said about my streams, he liked, you know, when I talked about, like, certain authors he had found out about through my streams, Wallace Shawn, or, you know, sometimes I'll, for a big chunk of my stream, I'll, like, give a lecture about whatever poet I want to talk about or writer. So he had discovered a few writers and bought their books based on, me talking about them on my live streams or whatever. And I do look at it, with the streams, it's like I want it to be like kind of a collage of a lot of different types of forms. I want it to be a lecture, I want it to be a class, I want it to be gossip, I want it to be a reality show, nervous breakdown, Jerry Springer. I want it to be a poetry recitation, a talk piece, stand-up comedy podcast, tour guide. I'm your tour guide walking the streets. Yap sesh, political. It's our 24-hour political coverage. It's election year 24. I mean, is the election over? Apparently Biden might step down. That's the latest. He's got COVID. They couldn't kill Trump, so now they're going to kill Biden. They got to get rid of one of them somehow. This can't be it. This is one of the nicest streets in New York, Morton Street. That is Sofia Coppola's townhouse right there. Let me dox Sofia Coppola. Where she lives with the guy from Daft Punk or whatever. And then John Belushi also lived on this street back in the 70s. I heard. It's a nice street. They've got this big pink apartment building over here. So, we're Bitcoin mining the local scenery for clout. We're clout beasts. We're hype beasts. What the hell is a hype beast? What is it that distinguishes a hype beast? That's what I want to know. How does someone qualify as a hype beast? Because I feel like kind of a hype beast. As a host, I'm kind of a hype beast. So yeah. Podcasts, we're living through this like age of fucking podcasting. So yeah, the video went out about halfway through, but we went on just doing the audio, which I think is fine because it's a podcast. I mean, to be honest with YouTube, I basically use it as a radio anyway. It's like the video's nice to have, but a lot of this shit, a lot of these video podcasts, Rogan or Tim Dillon show, or even something like Club Random, it's like there's not a whole lot to look at. It's like the early days of television. It's like public access. We talked about Joe Franklin. It was a good interview, it was different. It was like looser. We talked about different stuff. We didn't talk about politics really. We got into some kind of like more spicy stuff, neuro-spicy. We talked about the woke agenda, the woke mob. We talked about men's rights, of course,
I thought you
or men's rights activists. Just kidding. We talked about the gender balance. New York. He went to LA. He had done he opened for this guy at the Brea Improv. He said there were 300 people there. So he did an opening set to over 300 people. And he did a good job. So that's pretty exciting. I gotta figure, how do we create bigger audiences? How do we create bigger crowds? How do we create a hysteria? How do you give the people what they want? How do you make them beg for more? How do you get people to, just like wanna pay money for your poetry, your art? Which way do I want to go? Okay, so I've done 9 minutes. I want to go to the store. Okay, I'm going to do 2 fucking hours. Jesus Christ. I'm losing viewership. What the hell am I going to talk about? I feel like I just talked about everything. I don't have anything left in my head. I need a break. But not really. I mean, there's always more to say. Oh God, this is cringe. Am I going cringe here? Oops. Ashley published the interview with me on her sub, so it's just a week of interviews. It's the New Yorker interview issue came out this week, I guess. So Ashley published her interview that she did with me back in 2023. And to be honest, the first half of the interview is pretty good. It kind of falls apart at the end. And there's some things about it that maybe, but there's some nice passages, you know. There's maybe some things, I don't know if I said that stuff about James Franco vibe. Or what was the other thing? If there was a word that I would redefine, I'd redefine masculinity. I don't know. That's kind of a dumb, buzzy answer. Not sure why I said that, but in any case, you know, I love being interviewed. There's nothing better than being interviewed, to be honest. What happened to the fucking Cherry Lane Theater? Are they renovating it? I think it got bought by Netflix or something, didn't it? So they're probably just gut renovating it and making it ugly into some kind of like podcast theater. Audible.com. Maybe I'll go to Bleecker Park for a sec. I know how I can get there. Yeah, I don't know. I just think audiobooks, podcasts, there's a huge market for this stuff. For some reason, people want to listen to long form. You know, I think it's just on-demand radio. That's all it is. That's all a fucking podcast is. It's not like a fucking... but I also think because it was like not an official... You know, it was just conversation as a medium, basically. You know, they basically just like validated conversation as a medium. You know, you literally can just record a fucking conversation and put that out, and that's fucking an interview. I'd love to do more interviews, man. I'd love to interview fucking people. You know, but I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends. I'm totally socially isolated. And my only friends exist on YouTube. They're the people who watch and comment on my live streams. Here we are back at the friend's apartment. Speaking of friends, there it is. There's a friend's apartment right there. Yeah, so I don't know. What the hell? I guess I've spread enough propaganda about the poetry movement. People need to write poetry, print poetry, start open mics, travel the world reading poetry, take your zines everywhere, give them to everybody everywhere. You know, why aren't people going on tour? When are we going to have a New York City poetry tour and we just go everywhere? We take them the work. I don't know. I need to get back out on stage. I've been doing this, and I love doing this. But, you know, I sort of stopped doing open mics. I haven't been doing hardly any live shows except the Monday and gigs I'm booked on since, like, really end of March. I don't know. I just got to get out there and be with. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I want to do. You know, like I was saying yesterday, it's like a Mr. Open Mic. I go everywhere. And more people get involved. Get in the open mics. Just keep going. The New York City Poetry Revolution. get people writing. We're getting stand-up comedians writing poetry. Who'd have thought? Well, I don't know. In a certain way, we're trying to create like a market for what the fuck is all this? You know, like I gotta believe that there's oh, this is that Mama's too, or what is that? La Industry. It's pizza, La Industry. Maybe I should just shut the fuck up and just film the streets. Apparently, Ben Callahan played our last podcast to his boomer aunt or something, and she hated it. She said it was too whiny. She's rich. She didn't like my politics. She didn't like my social politics. She said I was too whiny. It's like, okay, well, that's what we do in New York. We whine. We complain. We kvetch. We nitpick. We nadle. That's how it gets good. Just keep complaining until it's fixed. Until it's right. Okay, what the hell else to say?
At least he was more fun. No problem.
You know, I think people are just like fucking hungry for explanation. There's an endless, inexhaustible supply of information, takes. You know, none of it is verified. It's all fair game. It's all equal fucking legitimacy. Nothing is fact checked. And you gotta sift through it all. It's all tailored to you. It's all based on, you know, these highly scientific, kind of manipulative algorithms shaped to you, your preferences. Oh, is this a running club? I can't tell if this is a running club or... We met IRL. That's what that says. Okay. I don't know. As if poetry will beat the empire. As if poetry will like cool down, supplant. If we get people writing poetry, you know, maybe they'll do that instead of killing people, colonizing. He asked me who my favorite comedians were. I felt like I should talk about somebody contemporary. I didn't mention anybody contemporary. Do I like anybody contemporary?
No, honestly, I mean,
I guess we just have to get used to the idea. We have to figure out how to, anything can happen before the election. It's still 4 months away, 3 months away. You know, with Trump, it's such an up and down roller coaster. There's always new shit happening. There's always new shit coming to light. And who the fuck knows? Maybe he'll blow it. Somehow. Oh yeah, J.D. Vance. I watched J.D. Vance's fucking speech last night. I gotta say it was pretty uninspiring. It wasn't like some kind of star-making convention speech like Obama or something. He just looks like a douchebag from Ohio. I don't know. I feel like he looks like me. Like J.D. Vance looks like he could be a part of my family. In a weird way, the fucker. So, I don't know. It was pretty unimpressive, I thought. But He's a creation of Peter Thiel and finance, tech, money. They basically bankroled his whole fucking thing. They underwrite his candidacy. Okay, Bleecker Park is looking pretty rough today. Damn, what's going on? I guess all the people left the city. All the people with jobs. So hot. They're all out of town.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna sit? We'll sit here. We're left behind. We haven't been raptured into the Hamptons or whatever. Oh my god, this is my worst live stream ever. Okay. Nobody cares. See, nobody cares. This fucking homeless guy just sat next to me. I guess that's okay. Was that an unprogressive? I sat down. You saw it. It all happened on my live stream. I sat down. The homeless guy sat down next to me. I had to get up and leave. I didn't know what he was gonna do. He was gonna ask for something. It's that guy. It's because I have the camera. I guess it's because I have the camera. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. I just all talked out. I just feel like when I get on here, I've said everything. I've cliched thing about poetry, how we should write poetry, who you should read. Should I talk more about authors people should read? I don't know. To some degree, I just want peace. Okay, I just want to sit alone and quiet. I don't want to have to yap. I don't want to have to continue to think of new things to say. But then when I sit down and do nothing, then I will start to think of things I want to say. Oh, I should say this and I should say that. And, you know, it's also about putting in the work. I want to do this twice a week. Here we go. And, you know, sometimes you just got to do it. Even when you're not, you know, or I don't know, we just live in this fucking culture where like the default is to be like, I'm not feeling it. I don't know if I can do it today. Kind of tired. Feeling kind of, feeling kind of off, you know, not really like fucking in the zone today. It's just not there. Man, I think Bleecker Park has been taken over. Which so be it, you know. I heard somebody say that homeless people are the only people that are really, you know, they're the only people that are really putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to like capitalism, when it's defying capitalism, trying to live without it, proving, disagreeing to the point that just like, you know, you're not participating anymore. You know, you're fucking homeless. You're just saying, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to work. I'm not paying rent. I'm going to get pushed out on the street, and then I'm going to be put in jail because it's illegal to be homeless. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they're so vilified, because they're the fucking dissent. They're the proof that, you know, the people that wouldn't assimilate, the people that wouldn't fucking get paid off to fucking, you know, have corporate jobs, serve the empire, and serve consumerism and capitalism and you know, certain people that probably watch this. Oh, apparently, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I said anything that bad about boomers. You know, I don't think I get on YouTube and just like rail at boomers, really. You know, I think I'm sort of nuanced and sympathetic when I talk about demographic, generational division. They want to keep us all separate. They want us to all feel isolated and against each other, and we hate boomers. But I did hear a fact that boomers they hold like 90% of the wealth or something. That's clearly like a problem. So, if there ever is anti-boomer sentiment, and I'd like to think, compared to some of the shit on the internet, I mean, there's a lot of anti-boomer content out there. People have found who the culprit is, okay? We figured out who it is. It's the boomers. So we're just going to point the fucking finger until people realize. But I don't think that I'm that, I do think intergenerational support and interaction and kind of, it's like a blanket or a textile. It's like there's a weave that happens that you need all generations, there's solidarity and the different strands weaving together, Old people have a different perspective than we have. We have a different perspective than them. There's a value in both. They have different skills. They have different interests. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of an interesting question, but that's a big thing on the internet. It's just like generational squabbling. It feels like it's gotten hyper intensified, particularly since the pandemic, particularly since the entrance of like Gen Z. Since Trump, it's just like now every Gen Z is very like, it has a lot of animosity and judgment of the other generations. I guess because in our minds we're reckoning with the end of the world, That's why we hate the fucking boomers so much. Because they killed the planet, and we all know it. And they're just going on and living the party as if nothing is wrong. And so what can we do but hate them? They have all the money, They get none of the they're going to deal with none of the consequences of any of this. We're all going to have to deal with the consequences. And we have to listen to Rolling Stones fucking songs and Van Morrison songs and all the boomer fucking culture for the rest of our lives. And live with boomer culture, those, cultural hegemonies.
They would have.
But I don't think I'm like the most fucking vocal anti-boomer person or anything, really. I hate, Gen Z really sucks. Gen Z is just annoying because they're so judgmental, and they just think they're so much better. Our culture is youth obsessed, and young people always seem like, oh, they're the new thing, they're the cool thing, they're more important. And Gen Z feels like that's all they have. It's like, oh, they're young. Wow. They're so different than us. They're Gen Z. What's that like growing up with a fucking iPad? That's so crazy. They never went outside. Let's give them all the fucking attention. And they're special. They're so goddamn special. The millennials are like the biggest age group. Even though Gen Z is younger and they have Greta and they are Parkland survivors and kids that sort of like are media figures for like, resisting or speaking out or whatever. And that seems to be more baked into what's cool with Gen Z, like, is being an activist. That's like part of it. You have to care about climate change. You have to be outspoken. The more kind of radical your identity is, the more you're cool. The more anti kind of white family. J.D. Vance wants white Christian families. Uh, and he judges people in New York for our sinful lifestyle. You know, we're frustrated. We're all cat ladies, what he said. The country's being run by unhappy single cat ladies. And you know, they want to be homeowners and have children, but they don't have children, so they're frustrated cat ladies. In big cities, in big blue cities. We're having a great time, okay? We're swiping. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves online dating. Everybody loves the big cities. Everything about it is so great. Just the endless single hookup lifestyle. Well, now apparently Chappelle Rowan, who is a Gen Z cultural leader, she's one of their leaders. She's a demisexual or something, which means that she feels gross when she does hookups. She thinks hookups are gross. Gen Z, there's a certain amount of Gen Z that's like, they're trying to look for an answer for like the baggage that hookup culture creates. And just not letting guys be pieces of shit. You know, men treat women with such disposability when it comes to, when it comes to hookup culture. And so just don't have one night stands is like the demisexual Gen Z reaction to the damage that's done. I mean, nobody wants to get hurt. People catch feelings. They get ghosted. They like somebody, they don't like them back. You know, you can't like politicize that and make it like, I don't know. Now everything's like a fucking movement. Men are gross. You need a roster. Who's in your rotation? Oh, I got a 50-year-old guy. I got a 25-year-old guy. I got a finance guy who pays for everything. You're a hot woman. You put a lot of money into being hot, so you deserve to profit off of your hotness. You know, just monetize whatever the fuck you can. That's what we have to do. Just make anything you can. Anything extra at all is like a bonus. Like, oh my God, I got to go on some guy's boat because he's some dirty old finance fuckface. Like, well, that's exciting. At least I got to be on a boat. I hoard myself out so I can be on some evil person's boat for, you know, and get sun and shit. Go to the Long Island. Go to the Hamptons. Not me, man. I never took the deal. Nobody in New York has any goddamn principles. It's just like, make as much money as you fucking can.
No, like, cause my mom was like,
and just get ahead at all fucking costs. Well, that's not really true. I mean, there's all these communities in New York. Even though New York is like a hyper bustling, it's the nature of the place to be competitive because it's such a small place that so many people are trying to get into. And so even though you have scenes and things and families and communities, it's within this kind of like constantly churning, constantly, you know, fluctuating, people leaving, people coming in, mass exodus. So it's just constantly throwing new stuff out there, you know. New York is constantly, you know, there's always a new toast of the town. There's always a new collective, venue, scene, whatever it is, new class, new poets. Who are the hot new poets? Who are the Gen Z poets? With my generation, it was like a lot of people went to Columbia, and it was like millennial poets were like Adam Fitzgerald, Ariana Rines, Ben Fama, Zachary Pace, Paul Legault, Emily Skillings, Dorothy Lasky. Those were the people that were like sort of eminent or whatever. They were like my age, who were like already in positions of like, you know, doing shit, getting recognition, doing the prestige kind of readings, working as John Ashbery's secretary or whatever. I don't know. I wish I could find a way under the skin of the city, you know, and find my way into some kind of real job. Apparently, Ben Callahan sold some land in Argentina, so he's financially independent now. So I got to figure out some investments. Does anybody have any good investment ideas? I need to strike it big on the stock market. Does anybody have any crypto pointers? My NFTs all are worthless. They all dropped in value, so I don't know what to do now. If anybody has any tips? New comedians. Fuck comedy. You know, I think I pay too much attention to comedy. You know, I just wish that poetry was as famous as comedy was. We got to make poetry as famous as comedy. We have to make poetry like a multinational corporation. We have to make it like a media, like cash cow. How do we create just like a poetry like mania in this country? Just like make it the craze. Everybody writing poetry. I mean, it's sort of happening in New York. Everybody who is smart and cool and young is like doing poetry shit. And so why not just conflagrate that? I do think that the state like suppressed poetry. I think it is popular. I think everybody loves poetry. It's a great evening. It's a great centerpiece for like an evening's entertainment. You want to hear a poem, you know? Carson would have poetry. It was always bad. He'd have Orson Bean recite a fucking, you know, rhyming kind of doggerel piece of shit, but he would have poetry on. Or Jimmy Stewart would read a poem. You know, I do think poetry is ready to like explode in this culture. I really do. I think there's legions of young literary people that, you know, they want to dumb us down with bad entertainment, with stupid movies, action movies, stupid TV shows. We don't want that. We want poetry. We're human beings. We need poetry, God damn it. It's like just the same way they feed us bad food. You know, they feed us chicken nuggets and cheeseburgers and shit. Our bodies actually want like fucking salads and sweet potatoes and food that's alive, broccoli. You know, or we're really hungry for food that's alive. Same thing with the art that we consume. You know, we're just polluted with Fast and the Furious movies or John Cena movies or Boss Baby or Madagascar or Shrek. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not really a Shrek guy. Shrek is like the Family Guy of Pixar style, where it's like, it's just kind of a bunch of jokes for adults. And I don't like the Lord Farquaad height shaming. I think that's kind of fucked up. Bleecker Park is like the Warriors. I watched the Warriors for the first time the other day. I can't believe I've never seen the Warriors. I mean, I've been hearing about the Warriors since literally fucking high school. Charlie Pulliam used to talk about the Warriors all the time. And it's an incredible New York movie. I mean, you got to see the Warriors. But it's a simple movie, you know? It's a very simple plot. They're at this fucking... It was like Trump. They assassinate the leader. Except they didn't botch it. And so they're in the Bronx at like some summit of all the gangs in New York. The Coney Island, whatever the fucks.
It's just like weird how things
And
like
this
that
dude
happen.
gets shot, the kind of charismatic centerpiece of it all. And then they have to spend the rest of the movie getting back to Coney Island. It's a very simple plot. But I don't know, it's the costumes, it's the atmosphere. I think it's like the lack of information in that movie that actually makes it kind of timeless. They don't really try to make it about anything that specific. They let the characters' looks and the action kind of speak for itself. It's not really about, you know, teen gang violence or, you know, it's just like, it's like a Joseph Campbell kind of hero's journey, you know, Hero with a Thousand Faces. The Warriors kind of anybody can kind of, the story kind of takes on like almost like a fairy tale or something, because it's so like kind of plain or simple. But the atmosphere of it, the music, the city, seeing the city at that time, it kind of reminded me of that Summer of Sam movie a little bit. But, I'm always hearing Warriors come out to play. It's like that's the very end of the movie. There really isn't that much memorable. For as cult as that movie is, I mean, that movie is like very cult popular. It's like there wasn't that much in it that I was like, oh, wow, this is some like memorable, iconic thing. It's like pretty much just that ending. And then the different costumes in it. I love the guy, James Remar. I think he's a good actor. He shows up in stuff from time to time. I think he was maybe on Pete and Pete. He was in some movies in the early 90s. He's in The Warriors. But it's a great summer, New York. Oh, yeah. Just putting our time in. We should be on summer break, but, I want to communicate with my audience. I want to spread wisdom and try to give people ideas. Okay, so one thing I did that was kind of exciting. Yesterday, I finally submitted my New York City book to Lulu.com. I hope that it turns out pretty, but it's just a first draft, but it costs $15. I mean, the book itself is $8.60 plus shipping and handling. It's 6x9 and it's 300 pages almost. So it's all of the chapbooks that I've written since coming back in 2021. So it's everything from city life through war commercial. So it's almost 300 pages. And the idea being, if you read that, that's like my New York City, well, Ashley was saying, right, I've got a San Francisco book, I've got a Paris book, I've got an LA book. I've even got a Columbus book that I haven't published, Short North Winter. Or my pandemic book is kind of a Columbus book. But I don't have a New York book. I've got all these chapbooks. So finally, I've got about 3 years of chapbooks, and I finally collected it and made a cover. So that should be coming in the next couple weeks. So hopefully I'll be able to do some kind of, if it turns out well. I mean, that is an expensive price point, $8.60 per book. But I don't know, maybe I could print like 10 or 20 of them or something, I don't know. I mean, even that would be $200. It's pretty insane. I mean, that's one reason why I stopped doing print stuff, because it got so fucking expensive since the pandemic and the fucking supply chain issues and shit. But, I think it should be pretty cool, and kind of rounds out the picture where like now I'll have a New York City 300-page novel, takes place over 3 years. The idea, being you can read it from start to finish and it'll sort of tell the story of the last 3 years, in sort of disjointed, jumping around, kind of cut up, homemade, organic, pre-made, kind of cut up.
Yeah, no, I do feel.
But I don't know. It's expensive. I probably have to sell it for $20 a copy to make the money back. But now that I got all this interest, that people seemed more interested in the fucking hardbound books at Poetry Festival than in my staple books. So it's been a couple years since I put out a new book. I try to put out one every year, but I've been sitting on the pandemic book and the LA story book. I think they're good. They need to get it up. People need to read them more. People need to see that stuff more. Having a book pocket size or perfect bound, it's like people can take it with them. It lives alongside all the other books on their shelf. Periodical zine probably has a certain kind of deterioration that's going to occur it's not as protected necessarily as something that's perfect bound and sort of actually officially printed. I mean, that was the magic of Lulu.com for me when I first used it. Was like, holy shit, I can just make my own book and it's gonna look like all the other books like at the store. It's gonna have binding and a cover, and I can put whatever I want in it. Like, that's a pretty fucking magical feeling. It's like hearing yourself on the radio for the first time or something. It's like, okay, I've got a book. I'm a real writer. I wrote like a fucking book, like an ISBN and shit. So I need a New York book, and it's bigger. It's bigger than any book. I think the LA Storybook is like 200 pages, maybe. I don't think that's really bigger than that. So this will be the biggest book I put out ever. Because I want a big New York City novel. I was looking at the New York Times top 100 books of the 21st century. I don't know. Dennis Johnson, Tree of Smoke. Dennis Johnson, Train Dreams, The Corrections. Jonathan Franzen. Uh, 1004, I think, was on it. Station 11. Emily St. John Mandel. I don't know. So hopefully my book will be on the Great New York City Novels list. City Life. I think I'm just going to call it City Life. I think that's the best title I have for like a big New York novel. Like Underworld. People got to read Underworld. I got to talk about Underworld. Like, if you haven't read Underworld, Underworld is the thinking man's Infinite Jest. It's like, it's like 800 pages. It took me forever to read it. The opening is this unbelievable bravura novella. It's like a 90-page short story about the shot heard around the world. It's unbelievable. It's one of the best pieces of writing.
Yeah.
And the rest of the book is just as good. I mean, it's just incredible. It's all, it kind of jumps between all these different kind of world scenes, but it takes place kind of around New York City before 9/11. It came out before 9/11. But the cover that I had anyway had the Twin Towers on it. So, I guess DeLillo has sort of gone mainstream with the White Noise movie, the Noah Baumbach. But I read a lot of fucking DeLillo. He's my favorite. He was my favorite contemporary novelist, to be honest. I read a lot of Don DeLillo books. Americana's great. The Names, Mao 2, Libra. This is the perfect time to read Libra. It's about the JFK assassination. And it gives you a picture of just how endless, these things can be. These conspiracies and just like the Warren Commission, just how much stuff they had, how much evidence there is, how much testimony there is, how much speculation there is, how much documentation there is. So like with these assassination attempts, it's like we never quite know. We're repiecing history. Was it real? Was it fake? Was it real? Was it staged? Half the people think it was fucking staged. And half the people think that Biden rigged it so Trump would get shot. There's like a mosquito or something that's like telling me like shut the fuck up. Too much truth. You're getting too close to the truth. So I don't know. People can say every which goddamn thing on the internet. Every fucking opinion. And it all seems valid. It all, Are you a dirty boy? Huh? There you go. Are you a dirty boy? Huh? I wouldn't say so. I don't think I'm a dirty boy, really. Not in that sense. I don't know. There's a time and a place, I guess. And a way to be dirty, but I don't know. It's not really what I would lead with. Oh, I'm a dirty boy. I'm not going to be answering any fucking telephone pole flyers about it. Let's just say that. Yeah, so who the fuck knows? Apparently Hulk Hogan is going to speak at the RNC. He found Jesus. I mean, I'm not surprised. He was on like this fucking 700 club. You know, he's a racist. It's documented. It's known. Hulk Hogan's a known racist. It's not a surprise he'd be at the RNC. This was something that Ben Callahan was commenting on about. It's informational. My live streams. I tried it. You know, this is one reason why I watch TikTok 6 hours a day, because I'm like trying to feed myself news to tell people, to deliver here. This might be the only media you consume. You know, you're not watching the lamestream media, the fake news. You're not watching CNN with Don Lemon or whatever, Van Jones or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. You're trusting me to tell you, you know, that Hulk Hogan is speaking at the RNC. You know, how else would you fucking find that out? I read it. You know, this is what I do. I wake up every morning. I read the newspapers, and by newspapers I mean Drudge Report, because it's the only thing that's not behind the paywall. I watch my YouTube, you know, shows, my trusted news sources, Andrew Callahan, Tim Dillon show with Alex Jones. Have I been like put down some kind of right-wing pipeline through the social media I consume? I don't know. Are they subtly shaping my political profile? You know, you want to defy the algorithm. You want to defy being fucking profiled. Oh shit, Extra Virgin closed. Oh, there was supposed to be a reading. Yeah, there's a reading at Left Bank Books tonight with Annabelle Sciorri. It's Raymond Foy. It's a Rene Ricard. Fucking some Rene Ricard fucking book is coming out. And Annabella Sciorri. It's Raymond Foy. There's probably poetry people I know over here, actually. I don't know if I want to get too close. I'm interested in Raymond Foy, but there we go. This is what I always have. I was going to maybe come to this. I guess I just stumbled upon it, and here we are. But, you know, this is my live stream. You never know what's going to happen. You just stumble upon literary events here. I'll give you a sneak peek. So this is New York. Yeah, that's Raymond Foy right there. Special cameo appearance by Raymond Foy on my fucking live stream, for Christ's sake. I'm a Raymond Foy fan. I'm Facebook friends with him. I think that's probably how I found out about it. But I don't know him. He edited John Wiener's Black Sparrow Selected. You'll just sit here. It's just looking kind of sort of available. Across the street from the hip Rene Ricard reading. I was also at Rene Ricard's opening at Julian Schnabel Gallery, or whatever, Vito Schnabel Gallery, a couple years ago. A really good show of paintings. I got to get around to more art stuff. I haven't been going to galleries. We went to the museum. If you watched my last vlog, we went on the roof of the Met. I've never done that before. That was pretty cool. If you've never been on the roof of the Met, I think it's Friday. Is it only Friday? There's an elevator, like in the rear left wing. It'll take you up on the roof. It's pretty cool. You look over Central Park and shit. And, yeah, Hulk Hogan and J.D. Vance. I mean, Hogan, are they really going to give him? I mean, they had The Rock. You know, the Republican convention had like The Rock a few times. Like, that's all they can get is Hogan. They're really going to put a known racist like on their fucking like main stage. It's like, is Hogan really that exciting to people now? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a soft spot in my heart for Hogan because he was like a childhood figure, but you know, you'd think that they'd not want to go anywhere near the guy with the racist sex tape. But now he loves Jesus, so he's getting closer to the end, so he, you know, he's super into Jesus now. But it looks like the reading's over, I guess. Left Bank books, they're kind of like expensive. They're like collector's prices. Yeah, so I try to report the news that's out there. Apparently Microsoft is getting rid of their DEI. They say it's no longer important or profitable to them. Who knows what that'll mean, but now that Trump's back and everybody loves him, now that he's been martyred, now that he's escaped death in front of everybody, the fake staged assassination, foiled assassination plot. The foiled assassination plot against I hate how people are referring to him as the president. He's not the fucking president, right? Like, they shot at the president. It's like, he's not the fucking president. He was the president. You know, he's a former president. They shot at the former president. Maybe he's a future president, we don't know. Biden's got COVID. What a confused old man thing to do. So, who the fuck knows? They might, it just might be their way of pushing him out. Did they give him COVID? Did they inject him with COVID? Did they infect him with the COVID? And is it gonna work? Is it gonna be like Biden died of COVID? Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's just things are changing every day. You know, things are radically changing day by day by day by day. So who knows where the fuck we'll be 3 months from now. You know, people are stoked on Trump now, and it's like, do they really know what the fuck he's gonna do? Like, you're down for that? I mean, what do they like about him? You know, they just like the gusto and the kind of macho theatrics. You know, they could have fucking faked a picture with a bullet in it. They could have just photoshopped the fucking blur into the back of that picture. I mean, that's what that Wag the Dog movie, you know, implies, is they faked the whole war. They just photoshopped the whole war. They photographed some actors in front of a green screen, and then they put a background in. People at the convention were wearing bandages on their ears. Like, that's what they do in that movie. And the shoe guy, Woody Harrelson, his nickname is Shoe. And so they all start to throw their shoes on telephone wires. It's like, that's just like everybody wearing bandages on their ears. I don't really think it was staged. But that's what happens in Moon Over Parador. They fake an assassination at the end of the movie. They pretend to kill Richard Dreyfuss so he can get away. Is that what they did with Trump? They had a squib.
But those abortions are very rare. But no, they don't do that. They don't do that. That's all. They don't do
I don't know. It doesn't change who the guy is, but who knows? What are we gonna do? We're just gonna look the other way. We have to ignore it. We have to live with it. Seems like a done deal, but the election hasn't happened yet, so theoretically we could change it. So what do? Do we pray? Where's Marianne Williamson? How do we get 100? We don't even have Bernie. At least Bernie was like some kind of hope. We could be like, oh, what if Bernie? It's like now we don't even have that. It's like Jesus Christ. What are we hopeful about? Where do we turn? AOC? What did an AOC run? So we'll just make videos yapping about it, speculating. Was it staged? Did the Secret Service stand down? The guy was in a BlackRock video. Trump turned his head. You know, he turned his head at the last second. I mean, don't act like... I mean, it'd be horrible political violence. We don't support political violence. But wouldn't it be a relief if we woke up and Trump was just not here anymore? Wouldn't that just be a huge sigh of relief for everybody? I don't care how it happens. Well, Alex Jones said the big fears are going to poison his food. Like in Russia. That's what they do in Russia. They poison their food. Should I go say hello to Raymond Foy? We love you, Raymond Foy. You're my hero, Raymond Foy. I mean, Raymond Foy's pretty cool, but this is what I mean. Poetry people, I don't know. They're just, they probably wouldn't find it that endearing that I'm like live streaming and you know, being spontaneous and I don't know. Being mid about it. It looks like they did the reading in front of the fucking place. They've got a microphone and shit out front. Okay, well there's some cool people over there. Maybe I should go in. I probably should be doing that instead of this. But, I don't know. This will be like an experiment. This will be like a different kind of live stream. Maybe I just won't say anything. Yeah, I want to see how extra virgin is gone. Oh my god, look at this, bro. Look at extra virgin being gone and shit. It's crazy. This was a nice restaurant. It was thriving. There was always, you know, people in there. I think I saw Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde there once. It was that kind of place. And now look at it. Now it's just fucking brown paper bags on the windows. Ain't that America? No more mom and pops. Well, I was reading this thing about landlords, right? It used to be landlords had way less data points about what to charge their tenants. Now they just get on Zillow, they can see what other landlords are charging. They're conferring on all these apps and algorithms and blah, blah, blah. So they have way more data points, so that's why they raise the price. You don't just have some guy, you know, that owns the place and just has tenants downstairs who he doesn't raise the rent on because they're good tenants. It's like, it's all management companies. They get paid to be, you know, to harass people, to make your life a pain in the ass, inconvenience, raise your rent. There's no more mom and pop. You know? Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, who's a mom and a pop? You have to have children. Who's got children these days? How could you be a mom and pop? We're dinks. Or we're NINKs. We're no income, no kids. We're sinks, we're dinks, we're NINKs. No income, no kids. Single income, no kids. Oh boy. Just wanted to get some of this fucking scenery in, this live. Look at this live New York, baby. It's so nice in the light. I think selfie sticks are super chic. Look at the Freedom Tower right now, okay? That's Taylor and Travis's New York right there, okay? That's Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde's New York. It is super nice out there.
This would be a night when we would go out. If Jalen.
Well, I mean, yesterday was way too hot.
If Jalen is bored, maybe we'll be there. Somebody.
What the fuck is Hogan gonna say at the Republican National Convention?
Yes. Yeah.
He's gonna talk about how he's on fucking Celebrity Apprentice or something? The Donald. He's gonna talk about the Donald. The Untouchable. Yeah, I don't know. People on the internet want people to get famous who look like them.
Yo, Ma, you good?
Is that gonna get? That's gonna get copyright. Is that music? Negative, 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 negative. Self-doubt, self-doubt. Insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. Creative block, creative block, creative block. No. Playfulness, invention, fun. Inspiration.
Yo.
Okay, I'm going to get, there's this place in Soho that has 50% sushi after 8 o'clock. It's hard to find this kind of deals these days. So I'm walking all the way from Bleecker Park to this fucking place in Soho. But I gotta say the MagSafe charging is working well. Okay, somebody's playing a cello or something. I'm pro MagSafe charging. I don't know if people out there are doing MagSafe charging. But, oh, it's open mic at Music Inn tonight. See, I gotta get out to these other open mics and, like, just meet people. You know? I gotta get it popping again, you know? I gotta get really percolating and busy, you know? Oh, here's a nice band. Yeah. Guy playing an upright bass in there, see? They put a thrift store into Bob Dylan's old, this is where Bob Dylan lived when he first moved to New York. It's like a, what is it, Hamlet Vintage or whatever. It's not bad. Papaya Dog is really built out here on the corner. This Papaya Dog's like got a fucking patio and shit now. See this fucking patio and shit? It's like a cafe, basically. Maybe I should go down and make Google and shit. Yeah, so we went to Roll and Roast yesterday. I don't know. I didn't think it was that good. I don't know. Roast beef can have a tendency to be dry sometimes. You got to get the cheese sauce, I guess. Probably the cheese sauce hides all the sins of the roll and roast. I got fries. I got a roast beef. It cost $13.50, which is not cheap. It was okay, but it's definitely worth going to once. I thought it was gonna be cheap. I thought it was gonna be like $8 or $9. So I don't think it's gonna become like a regular part of my life or anything. It was nice to go one time to just, you know, I'm a poor, that's like a poor man's luxury, you know, that's like a poor man's treat. It's like you go to Roll and Roast, spend $13.50, be like, okay, this is like an exotic kind of tourist experience. I saw it in a TikTok video I want to have, you know, but the interior was amazing, you know. They have the nice neon fucking lights and shit. You know, it looks like what Hamburger America wants to be. Hamburger America wishes it was the Roll and Roast. But I'd like to try the turkey. They have like a turkey sandwich, turkey with cranberry sauce, supposedly, and stuffing. I almost got that, but I figured it's a fucking Roll and Roast. I should get the roast beef, so I got that. And I had to walk. I mean, it was kind of a far walk. You know, it started like fucking raining pretty hard when I got home, but you know, I had a nice little evening. I mean, I need to get back out in these clubs more. I need to get it back out. My comedy career is stalled. You know, the thing is, I wanted the comedy world to come to me. And I don't know. It's kind of easier. Well, I don't know. I mean, with New York, it just feels unclear to me, like, how you climb your way up anymore. You know, it's like, where are you going? Now it's like, there are people that are really not even very good open mic comedians that have thousands of followers on TikTok or Instagram. And so, why not just do that? You know, why not just fucking, you know, talk on TikTok to 200,000 people or whatever some of these people have as following them? Or, you know, your videos, if you get lucky on a video on TikTok, you could have 1 million fucking views. It's like, you know, there are a lot of people that could have 30,000 Instagram followers or this or that. And, you know, they get booked on gigs in New York, and like, it's important for them to do live stuff. But at the same time, it's like, what? They're going to get on the Tonight Show. You know, I guess they could get booked as like road comics or something like that. Maybe that's the goal, just get so good at stand-up. But it's like, even that kind of shit, getting on the Tonight Show. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. Now you get on fucking Kill Tony or something. And, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't necessarily make you famous or anything either. It's just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's anything like the Tonight Show used to be, where it's just like everybody in the whole fucking country sees it. You know? I guess that's what going viral is, but, you know, that can't be like mandated necessarily anymore. It's like TV networks could put any goddamn thing on the Tonight Show that they wanted to, and everybody would see it. You know, they could curate it. Now it's just like, it's just a contest. You know, it's just like, hey, if you're good enough, 2 million people will see your fucking video. But if you suck, 200 people will see your video. Yo, Adam S. What's up, my man?
What's going on? You live
What's up?
streaming?
Yeah, brother. Woo! Yeah. The guy asked me if I was live streaming. I should have talked to him. I guess I should have stopped and talked to him. I don't know. I'm trying to go get food right now, I guess. Oh my god, I mean, I'm not sure how good this live stream is. It's all over the fucking place. But the scenery's nice. So let me get some of that anyway. This is McDougal Street, for those who don't know. It's where the Comedy Cellar is. A lot of comedy clubs and shit. $1. $1. Oh boy, okay, so Adam S., do you watch comedy? What comedians do you like?
Stay well.
What modern comedians do you like? Do you like Stavros? I'm sorry. Could be worse. Could be working your third job in his life. A new hotel, a new inevitable walk-off. That's what we love. Fuck the man. You don't owe them anything, all right? You leave whenever the fuck you want. Whenever you're done working for them. They don't own you. You give them a big fuck you middle finger. Oh God, what's happening? This guy getting in the ambulance. Here we are. We're in the streets. We're right in the middle of the action here tonight, guys. We're putting you right in the middle of the action. Yeah, I don't know. The New York Times 100 best books. It was so boring. It was just a boring list. They didn't have any of my books. They didn't have War Commercial. There was no High on Life on the list, so fuck that list. They don't know shit. They don't know anything. What the hell do they know? All the real interesting literature. It's on YouTube. Okay. Here we are. It's like my favorite part of New York. Oh my God, are they putting up this scaffolding? I think they are. I think they're putting that in. Oh, great. That's what we need, more fucking scaffolding. More fucking scaffolding, please. Let's make New York ugly. Put fucking scaffolding every goddamn place. Okay. I mean, what the hell else is there to say? I'm just obsessed with how they're destroying the sanctity of the family. We can no longer have children. We're cat ladies. We're all cat ladies. We're unhappy cat ladies in New York. We don't have any children. We don't have any land. All right, Adam S. done with my vape break. You get a break to vape? That's pretty cool. I thought that was like what was part of the vape was like you just can do it wherever. There's like no smoke or anything, so you're just vaping. It's my favorite grocery store here. Morty's. They're wonderful public art. This is my favorite piece of public art, this mural. All these people in kind of bohemian Greenwich Village. On the wall at Morty's. It's magnificent. Okay, I don't know. We got to get into universities. We need MFAs. We need tenure. We need professor jobs. We need professor money. Most people use it to eat a snack or call. I choose flavored nicotine vape. There you go. It's your right as an American, okay? Do whatever the fuck you want with your break time. Um, yeah, so, with New York, you're paying for information at these colleges. You're paying for the syllabus, for the knowledge, for the writers, for the hidden knowledge, for the secret knowledge that you don't get, unless you cough up the money for these, the Wesleyan published Fred Moten theory book or whatever. Or, whatever it is. It's all esoteric. It only takes place in these fucking... there really isn't language poetry in Columbus, Ohio that I'm aware of. Language poetry was really like New York and San Francisco. There wasn't, a full of shit enough audience anywhere else to buy into it, to be honest. Is Ashley alive? Yeah, she's at the beach, I think. That's why I thought it would be a good time to just get on and do this real fast. I don't know. She's trying to get a tan. It's been hard to get a tan this year because it's just so smoggy. It's so gray out, and it's hot and gray. The worst of, all worlds. You missed We Crashed the Raymond Foy reading. There's Mercer Street Books. One of the best bookstores in New York. They've got it's like NYU used bookstore, so they got some nice poetry, some nice literary magazines. So, I don't know. I think my New York City book, it could be big. I was just explaining that I just published my 300-page collection of zines that I've made, chapbooks. I don't know how many I made, probably 7 or 8 since 2021. March, April 2021 is when it picks up. So it kind of picks up right where the pandemic book left off, to be honest. You read the pandemic book, Selective Amnesia, boom, then you go right into this book, City Life. And you can read the last 3 years, everything that happened. Everything from City Life to War Commercial. Ashley's in it, Poetry Project, Bloomsday, comedy shit, my comedy career, open mic, everything, Matthew Silver. It's got all the hits from the last 3 years. So it's 300 pages. I'm hoping it kind of turns out like So Going Around Cities. 6x9, but it's thick. So it's going to be probably, my biggest, most substantial book. Hopefully. I'm hoping it's a monumental, unforgettable work of New York City art that goes into the canon of New York City. I want it to be underworld, like Poetry Underworld, like Ulysses of haiku. So, eat the document, I'm working on proofs. I'll be getting proofs in like the next couple weeks. I don't even know if I'm gonna have fucking resources to actually print copies of it. It's gonna be so expensive. But maybe we can do some kind of print on demand thing or something. As sure as God is my witness, we'll do some kind of print on demand or something. We're in Soho. Are you getting all this? Are you getting all this ambient, industrial, kind of hard-hitting trip hop here? It's hitting very hard right now. It's like super fucking grindcore. I'm just trying to do my Spalding Gray live streams, okay? What the hell else do I need to talk about? Something from the past, journeys into the past. Oh, let me see my set list real fast. I don't want to fucking blast everybody at Finelli Cafe. I love Finelli. Okay. This is the life of the poet, you know, just walking the streets, reading, doing interviews, live streaming. Divine intervention. That's what Samuel L. Jackson says in Pulp Fiction about why they didn't get shot. It was divine intervention. Is that what happened with Trump? Divine intervention. I think that motherfucker's got lucky as hell. He's just lucky. The fucking douchebag is lucky. Just more Tucker spoiled. You know, it was the demons. The demons saved his life. It wasn't angels. It was mischievous level devils that want to see us suffer here on earth. They were the one that turned his head at the last second. It wasn't the angels. It was the devils. They want to see chaos come upon the land. They want to see darkness and chaos spread upon the land, over the land. Apparently Abercrombie & Fitch is like one of the best stocks you can buy. Like Abercrombie & Fitch, I think, is like the most profitable stock over the last few years, even over Apple. It's like if you would have bought Abercrombie & Fitch, you would have made more money. And that is sick. Something is clearly wrong. That's definitely a clear indication of that's definitely a clear indication of fascism right there. Abercrombie is our strongest business. They're the strongest American corporation. All right, we're on Spring Street, baby. You gotta love Soho, man. Chipotle, that's what it was, Chipotle. Yeah, Chipotle is like, maybe it was Chipotle, not Abercrombie. But Abercrombie is also like a very good stock. But I think you're right. I think Chipotle was like, I read some article about how it was like it outperformed Apple. Like it was actually like the number one stock was fucking Chipotle. Like that's kind of fucking weird. So what? Do we have a Chipotle-based economy? Is that why all these people are so fucking miserable when you go in there? Is everybody eating Chipotle all the time now? Is that what's going on? I mean, I knew I was eating Chipotle. I didn't realize everybody else was doing it too. I'm desperate. I have to eat Chipotle. I'd rather be eating at Balthazar, Keith McNally restaurant. But I'm a Chipotle boy. And so I've been trying to cut down on my Chipotle. I think that's one reason why my diet's gone to shit. Because you have to eat Chipotle now. You know, it's the only healthy, cheap. You know, it's either Chipotle or you plummet off like the fast food, you know, cliff real fast. Where it's like, oh God, you can't eat anything less than Chipotle. You know, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's. That's when shit's really not good in your life. When you're eating that shit. Look at that beautiful sky. Look at those beautiful colors in that sky. Look at that. That is live, everybody. That's just Jesus's paintbrush right there. Here we are at Balthazar. Send money so I can dine at Balthazar. If you want to eat at Balthazar, send me money. Send me money for an entree. We'll eat at Balthazar together on my live stream. Chipotle keeps Charmin in business, baby. Ha-ha. That's right. You're wiping your ass from those big burritos with that sour cream and cheese. Extra guac. Extra Charmin. Not tonight. Tonight we're going to Balthazar, baby. Tonight we're dining with Keith McNally, okay? We're dining Keith McNally al fresco. No, tonight I'm going to 50% off sushi. I've walked out across half of New York to go to this fucking sushi restaurant because, you know, I prioritize my life all wrong. You know, I basically go from meal to meal. What I do on any given day is like, what am I going to eat? Okay, I'll go to the beach. There's food there. I get a salmon burrito and roll and roaster. Or like today, it's like, okay, I want fucking 50% off sushi, so I'm gonna go into fucking Soho in Manhattan and rearrange my whole life. You know, that's my appointment, getting the sushi. Sushi, because it's affordable, and it's sort of healthy, and it's a deal. There's not too many deals left. You know, the plan and the itinerary of my day is basically, where are the deals? Yeah, there used to be a lot more deals. You could get cheap Indian food. K-Town, I'd love to go to K-Town, I'd love to go to Schnippers, that was sort of a deal. But otherwise, you're just eating at fucking Chipotle all the time. You're just eating banal, corporate, you know, like horse feed. They might as well strap a muzzle of oats to my fucking maw. I want brown rice. I want both kinds of beans. I want chicken. Blah, blah, blah. Strap it to my face. Just strap the burrito right to my face. Yeah, so this is the store. I don't necessarily need to put this on blast or anything, but this is the grocery store where they do 50% off sushi for after 8 p.m. What time is it, by the way? It's probably like, what, 8:50 or something? 9? I don't know. Should I do 2 hours and then get sushi, or should I get sushi now? I'm afraid they're gonna run out of sushi if I don't get it now. Can you just hang on for a minute while I get this sushi? I'm gonna run in this place and buy sushi real fast. In the middle of my live stream. Is that unprofessional? That'll be like an exciting real life. Let's just see how it goes. This will be like exciting, maybe. I don't know. Where am I gonna put this fucking thing? Okay, there's not really a line. There's usually like a huge line to get this stuff. Maybe I'll just come back. Okay, I guess I only have 27 more minutes, so let me just do the 27 minutes. What time is it? Is it after 9? Does anybody know? I can't look at my clock while I'm... It is normal live streamer behavior to go into a sushi restaurant with my selfie stick. Look, it's important that my community comes with me on this experience, okay? They're very interested in this Asian grocery store. Oh, is my park closed? Fuck, I think they're closed. See, the thing about New York is there's no goddamn place to sit. Alright, so the park is closed somehow, so I got nowhere to sit. I got nowhere to sit and eat. I walked all the fucking way down here. Where am I gonna live stream? I gotta sit for my live stream, you know, so I can pontificate while I'm concentrating, while I'm sitting. And then I could close it out. You know, I could close it out with this last half hour. Okay.
I would still leave the bag and have it.
Okay. We're just live. We're fucking live from Soho, people. Isn't this exciting? This is exciting, isn't it? I don't know. So we were doing the open mic at 8 p.m., but they pushed us back to 9 p.m. But I don't know. It's like, do I need to do something to make it exciting? I think, you know, do I need to do something to kind of, I don't know, to make it new for people or seem new or something? How do I throw a fresh coat of paint on there? I don't know. This week we had the lights down at the end of the open mic, so only one of the stage lights was on. It kind of created a nice, moody atmosphere. So maybe I'll do that. That'll be exciting for people next week. Jesus Christ. It's the summer. You know, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, okay? This is summer replacement programming. We're just trying to keep it interesting. I mean, I guess I should write a book or something. You know, is this a waste of time? Is this a procrastination technique? You know, is this just like some kind of shallow ego gratification where I'm like, oh boy, I can just get on really fast and blah, 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 blah. I have such important things to say. Got my audience. I'm growing my online community through my commitment to delivering high quality content on a consistent basis to my fans. You know, they expect me Tuesdays and Thursdays to be on for at least 2 hours. I cannot let them down. You know, they've come to expect a certain standard, even though I did do 5 hours on Tuesday night, you know, of high quality, high delivery on return content. All right. Input Funny just subscribed. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing, Input Funny. I mean, yeah. Are you a comedian? Do you do comedy? You're a New York comedian? I'm doing a bringer show at Broadway Comedy Club. Doing a bringer show. I need people to come out. It's a 2-drink minimum and a $20 food. And it's not going to be funny at all. By the way, it's not going to be entertaining or funny or anything. It's a way for me to feel like I'm doing something with my life. To pretend that I'm a comedian. Oh, maybe I can sit by Jack's wife, Freda. So I am going to, now I got 6 people watching. Jesus Christ. It must have just turned 9 p.m. or something. Alright, I'm going to do 23 more minutes. And then I'm going to be done, okay? For you. I'm doing this for you. I hope, please, I hope I don't miss out on sushi. I'm praying that I don't miss out on sushi. I came all the way down here to get 50% off sushi, okay? New York used to have all these 50% off sushi places. You know, St. Mark's in Avenue A, there was a 50% off sushi places filled with cool Gen X people. It looked like The Matrix. You know, it looked like a fucking rave in like a 90s movie, and like ID4. It looked like the rave in ID4. In the East Village. You know, that's what the East Village looked like. It looked like the rave in ID4. Or that movie Strange Days. But not anymore. I mean, now there's no 50% off sushi anywhere to be found. It's just frozen yogurt everywhere. Every woman's freezing her eggs. There's no men that's good enough. They're not going to settle. They're going to be single. They're going to be celibate. No one's having sex, okay? No more one-night stands. They're dirty. I mean, New York, Jesus Christ. There's just too much all the time. That's all. And it never stops. There's always new shit, you know? You gotta look for a nice 3 out of 10, okay? There you go. Some wisdom. Yeah, I mean, it's like that song, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. From my particular point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. You know that song? That misogynistic, hateful, toxic. Go listen to it right now on Spotify if you want to be happy for the rest of your life. I don't know. You know, it's a market. Everything is subject to market dynamics, and so it's supply and demand. Do you want them as much as they want? Who wants who more? You know, do you want them more than they want you? Do you want them more than? She sure can cook though. Exactly. Adam S gets it. That girl is ugly, but she sure can cook though. It's a hateful song, okay? It's a hateful, shameful relic of a patriarchal civilization that is long extinguished, okay? We're moving on. We're super feminists now. Hashtag feminist. Girl boss gatekeep gaslight. I hope you're girl boss gatekeeping out there, okay? You better be girl boss gatekeeping all these fucking patriarchal scumbag. I mean, I think one of the things Ben Callahan asked me was like, he felt like the women in New York were like stuck up or something. He said he was in a coffee shop and they just sounded so stuck up. And I do think like this country is hyper intensified. Once again, it's market dynamics, everything's supply and demand. People think they can always get something better. There's no reason to not go try to find something better. You know, you're in America, it's like you want the best. You want to be number one. You want to be great. You think you are the fucking shit. And I don't know, in New York it's just like endlessly people throwing people away, getting new people. There's hotter people, there's taller people. There's new people all the time. There's younger people. There's constantly young people coming in. They're sending reinforcements. There's new generations. You don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're dressing crazy. They've changed all the rules. They have insane politics that you have to pretend like you understand. Which you do. I mean, I hope I'm not anti-woke. I hope people don't think I'm anti-woke. Because my point was that, like, I don't want to just read the script that everybody else is reading and just, like, fall into some kind of fake, like, role in popular culture and fashion, and this is what's in this season, you know? It's like, I do believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, yes. And I feel like I practice those principles, you know? I don't turn anybody away. And I give everybody a chance. And I support everybody. I'm there for you, you know? I think about what everybody's doing. I try to find something positive to say about everybody, right? I try to find something good to see in everything. Even the racist, hateful comedians who should be ashamed. They're just lonely, sad. They just want a little bit of, I don't know, somebody to give them a little bit of attention or something. I don't know. It's sick. It's a sickness. This country is sick. They're celebrating Trump. I don't know. I think it's going to be like 2030. Is the glass half empty or the glass half full? I think we need more water is what I think we need. Get some more fucking water. Let's make the glass full, okay? That's my fucking promise to you, okay? Elect Matt Proctor, the anti-J.D. Vance. I hate J.D. Vance. I feel like I was put on this earth to defeat J.D. Vance. He's just too close to who I am and where I come from. But I feel like just the opposite of him, unfortunately. I feel like I deserve all the success J.D. Vance has. If instead of the New York Times writing all these articles about J.D. Vance, the right-wing stooge, the right-wing stool pigeon, you know, Hitler Jr., hypocrite, about-face, flip-flopper. He flip-flopped on Trump. He's like John Kerry's a flip-flopper. Fucking J.D. Vance, what a shithead name. J.D. Power and Associates. J.D. Vance. Oh yeah, Ben Callahan was asking me about the summer concert series. He said the shows that we did last summer at Young Ethel's were some of the best shows. And I agree, I'd like to do more. It just got so hard to work with venues. The venues just want so much. They want a guarantee or whatever. And I'd like to have a relationship with the venue where they just kind of understand that I'm doing cool shit and they just want me to go do cool shit. I mean, I think Autos really liked us. Maybe I'll try to book another thing at Autos. I've just been kind of lazy about it, to be honest. I've been focused on this in a weird way. And I don't know, is it working? Is it not working? I'm building my subscriber base a little bit at a time. You know? I think I've got, 68% more subscribers than last year or some shit. Some kind of analytics. I'm constantly checking my YouTube analytics. It's all about watch time. This is why I do this, because I get tons of watch time. Thank you guys for watching, but it's like I get way more clicks on this, with live streams. A lot of times I'll get 100 views or close to 100 views. and people watch for like hours. So some of my live streams got like 60 hours of fucking views. So it's like, that's what YouTube wants. They want people listening for long periods of time. And also, I want to learn how to do that, how to fill long periods of time. Pin Sound just posted this reading of Clark Coach where he read that book, a book beginning what and ending and, or whatever the fuck it is. It's like this long book of abstract poetry. You know, it's like 700 pages. It's long. It's 400 pages. But he read it over a series of nights at this place, Intersection for the Arts in San Francisco, where he did 2-hour sets every night, reading this entire book. And Mike Daisey did a similar thing where he did a series of shows at Joe's Pub every night for like 30 nights in a row. And every night he did different stuff. He did different monologue. And that was meant to be his like big New York City novel. Mike Daisey. I don't know if people really talk about Mike Daisey anymore, but I like Mike Daisey. He was like a monologuist. Now everybody's a fucking monologuist, but Mike Daisey was like, he did that thing about Apple or whatever. He did a piece on This American Life that like he got banned because he like lied about the research or something. Ira Glass like you know, was nitpicked him and Karen'd him out of there. It's like but Mike Daisey, yeah, it was like a podcast for a while. They did every night. I think it was called, you know, the Stages of the Moon of Days or something. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but it was on Apple Podcasts where they would post it every day. And so, you know, I'm inspired by that kind of stuff. Big forms, big ongoing works. With this, I try to weave a lot of different things in, tell the story of my daily life, at least the interesting parts. Politics, once again, is something we're involved in, whether we like it or not. We're going to be talking about that, I'm sure. There's just, how can you not talk about the assassination? Adam S., do you think it was staged? Did we talk about that already? S.A. Beaver says it was staged. What does Adam S. think? Just more fodder for the conversation mill, the podcast industry, the listening industry. You know, if you can get in there and get people's ears, get people's audience, now's the time. This is like the gold rush. We're probably too late, but, you know, it's the gold rush of online content. Building an audience, becoming some kind of trusted talking head with like a community that enjoys engaging with you. I guess I'm more of a niche figure. I'm sort of an obscure local scene. You know, one of the reasons why I get on here is to talk about the scene and disseminate ideas, information, thoughts, manifestos. I think it's working. I think there is like a creative revolution happening in New York. Poets, comedians, filmmakers, all collaborating. You know, getting seen on fucking social media, getting tons of views on their fucking reels. Or, talking to a bunch of fucking 8-year-olds on TikTok. I'm trying to read poetry on TikTok, you know. I'm trying to make it interesting, not just do boilerplate shit that everybody else does. Okay, I'll do 10 more minutes. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Thank you if you're listening at work. Quit your job. It's summertime. I hope you're swimming. I hope you're on a boat. I hope you're tanning. I hope you're on a jet ski. I hope you're with dolphins, but you're not getting sexually assaulted by the dolphins. I guess I need to be... I don't know why I've given so much attention to comedy. You know, I need to get back into poetry. I think I just got so fucking scalded by poetry. You know, I just feel so emotionally, you know, abused by poetry that just like, I just feel like I can't even read these fucking books anymore. I can't even look at it because I know some of these people are just like, I just have a ego, reaction where I recoil. I have an ego recoil. I can't look at any of my books. You know, I've got all my books. I try to pick up poetry shit. I'll skim it a little bit, you know. I brought My Paris, Gail Scott today. That was a big inspiration on my Paris notebook, which maybe some people bought this weekend, I'm not sure. But even though I'd never read it, I want to get that new Gail Scott book from Wave Books, whatever the fuck it is. Furniture Music. I've been trying to steal that for a while. So yeah, I try to give literary recommendations, food recommendations, movie reviews, you know, ideas for show business, things to do for your artistic life, your social life, because social life is like an art piece now as much as anything. Now everything is fucking posts, and everybody goes to the New York Poetry Festival and everybody's got their recap posts. Wasn't it so fun? It will live forever in the social media memories. That's why we do it. To, you know, keep it alive, to hoard it. We can't let it go. We can't let experience go. That's why we film everything. Instagram it, take pictures, document, you know. We're afraid to die, is really what it is. So we have to post. We post against death to prove that we're real, to prove that we'll live. You know, it'll be like that picture in The Shining. People look at our Instagrams. When I was looking at the fucking Poetry Festival pictures, that's how I was looking at it. I was like, we're ghosts. This already happened. This was 100 years ago. It's over. They're going to be looking at this 100 years from now, looking at those people. Look at them. Look at their pathetic lives in the hellscape of the early 21st century. I think it's going to be 2030 before things kind of straighten themselves out. If they straighten themselves out. Who knows how long? You know, apparently it's going to take a lot more than we thought to kill Trump. It's not going to go easily. We're really going to have to fucking go after this bastard a few times. They're just going to have to kill Biden now. I'm sorry, but Biden's not going to leave. They couldn't kill Trump, so now we just got to get rid of Biden. Just let him slip in the shower or something. He'll break his hip. You know, or just turn him loose, like that Saturday Night Live skit. Oh, Ashley's on. That Saturday Night Live skit where Ross Perot turns Jack Kemp loose, or whoever it is, Phil Hartman. Out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Okay, love you, Ashley. Ashley, I get it, okay? Got it. Ashley's a running character, a running thread in my live streams. Where are you? At the beach? Yeah, so we post against death. We post to confirm that we're real. I'm real because my posts are real. But they'll be looking at our Facebook, hopefully, unless it's just dead internet theory. They'll think we're all fake, or the data centers will all fucking, you know, crash. They'll be underwater. They'll be undersea. All the data centers will be like in landfills. Ashley's in Greenpoint. Probably running around with her crazy ass friends. All right, we'll see you, Ashley. Okay. Okay, Ashley. So yeah. It's already haunting, you know. Our social media is already a haunting reminder of times gone by that will never return again. Times never again to be. Phone on 7%. That's Gen Z for you, living on the edge. She's been posting so much. She's just been so active. Her screen time is like ridiculous. The screen time is just like really going through the roof. Okay, love you, Ashley. I gotta cut my hair again. I'm looking like shit. My live streams look like shit. It was the first 40 minutes of this were a real mess. Well, because I just got back from an interview where I just talked for hours and hours and hours. We didn't talk about the assassination at all. Okay, Ashley. Love you, Ashley. I don't know. How do we escape? How do we break this cycle? I want to break free. I just want to be on stage with my audience who loves me. I want to be a thought leader, making people think and igniting them and setting them on their paths as artists. Liberating them from corporate slavery. It's the only way forward is as content creators, okay? And it's fun, isn't it fun? Don't you love it? Just getting on, having the personal TV show of your own little narcissistic clamshell makeup mirror. That's basically what I'm doing right here. I've got my vanity here. I'm hosting the little Mickey Mouse Club of... Ashley read Inferno and cried. What made you cry about Inferno? What part? Maybe that's a good book recommendation. If people haven't read Inferno, Eileen Myles' Inferno, it's like Just Kids, but for poetry. And it's got a lot of great stuff about Poetry Project and New York School and things. In the 70s. This is I mean, the 2010s were kind of my 70s. The 2010s were the Brooklyn decade. This is like, I don't even know. It's the Roaring 20s because everybody's miserable. Everybody's in a proxy war. So I think we're just going to be like in this really chaotic... I mean, our society has really been handed over to dark tech lords who really want to manipulate us, jerk us around, seize power, and they're doing it. People like Elon Musk putting $45 million a month into Trump's super PAC or whatever. You know, these people are running everything. Okay, goodbye, Ashley. All right, I'm only going to do 2 more minutes. I'm going to get off at 1 hour and 20 minutes because I got to go get this sushi now. Sushi time. I did my show. I did my reps. I communicated. I touched base with you guys. Love you guys. You're my friends. You're my social group now. Whoever's out there, I don't know who you are. Whoever I'm divulging my life to. There's Jack's wife, Freda. This guy's jamming his fucking nuts off here. Hell yeah. He's gonna play us out. That'll be the outro music for today. Thank you for watching. Mandatory retirement. I mean, as the lifespan, I mean, people can do things forever. I don't think people need to work forever. Like, yeah, stay active. Go out, do shit, you know, be a part of society, get a hobby, you know, find it. But, like, you don't need to stay at your job forever. You know, it's like get into gardening, get into fixing cars, get into poetry, go to open mics as an old person, you know, get into, or start a different business, you know, start something new. But, like, you don't need to fucking clog up the works, you know, by being the president when you're 82 years old and senile and you have Parkinson's and you're pissing your pants at the G8 or whatever. Not to be ageist or anything, it's more of a capability thing, functionality thing. We all know it. Okay, I do want to say this. Okay, I'll end with this. I make her mind wet. This 7 Souls Deep. New York City has the worst sidewalk poetry. The sidewalk poetry is always fucking terrible. It's always like that. It's like pseudo Rumi, bad graffiti, Persian poet is terrible. All right. Well, thank you for watching. It's been 2 hours. That's going to do it. I did just want to talk shit about New York City sidewalk poetry. It's so bad. We're in an era of terrible sidewalk poetry, but we're doing good with the open mics and the zines and the live streams and whatnot. So we're just going to keep hammering away, keep reading, keep listening, keep tuning in. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everybody. All right.